YouTubers, what is going on? It's Vinny Chill here with Chris. Chris, how you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing all right. Just got back from vacation, looking a little tan. At least I like to think so. But you know, haven't had a lot of time recently, as all you kids out there know, to dedicate to the channel. We attempted to do a live episode a couple of weeks ago to recap our New York Comic Con 2021 adventure. That didn't really go as planned, so we're back now to try it again. And also wanted to mention, of course, this is a very special day for us. Today marks 1 year anniversary since we launched the YouTube channel. So a round of applause
We did it.
for us. We did it. And thank you to all the viewers out there. We started with 0 and we are around 100 now. So thanks to everyone out there. And I know there hasn't been a lot of content in the last 2 months, but we're going to try to keep doing this. We love to do this. So it might not be every week like we were doing for a long time, but we're going to be doing some more episodes soon, as well as another Silver City Con. So as promised, we are still planning to do another Silver City Con in the first quarter of next year. So stay tuned, more details for that. But without further ado, let's talk New York Comic Con recap, take 2. So to start off with, 2020 was a bummer. I love my autographs, love to meet and greet with the entertainment guests, celebrities. And this year seemed like a lot of people were jonesing for it for missing last year. And so lines were long. I really do like New York Comic Con, but Reed Pop, that's one area where I think they could improve. So I'll get to that in 1 second, but start off with, we have David Harbour, of course, Hellboy, and from Stranger Things. Got to meet him, very cool guy. Also, finally got to meet Mr. Sulu, George Takei, and huge Star Trek fan, but as he also mentioned while I was getting his autograph, he was like, "That's not Star Trek." And I said, "Yeah, I know. It's just your hero 8x10 is just such a cool photo with that sword. I have to get that picture." So went with that over a Sulu poster or picture. And then, of course, the biggest celebrity, I think, of all at New York Comic Con was none other than Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen. So got his autograph. So I added that to the collection. And at some point soon, I'll throw up on the Instagram and Facebook a picture of some of the autograph collection I've got on another one of the walls over there in the man cave. But waited over 4 hours for that. I got there early in line for Hayden, and it was, of course, I'm talking like I've met him for 5 seconds and I'm on a first name basis, but whatever. Waited online for about 4.5 hours for Hayden. Didn't actually get the autograph until 6:15. The Comic-Con closed at 5. They let us stay in line. And I gotta say, there was at least 150 people behind me. So I feel really bad for him, feel bad for other people. There were 2 giant breaks while we were waiting in line, about 45 minutes each. And it wasn't because he was taking a break. It was just because they physically made him leave the autograph line and go do photo ops. So this guy was just working, posing for pictures, writing until his hand fell off. And it kind of sucked for those of us who were online. I got online early for my time, and I still kind of got penalized because everyone paid the same amount of money for an autograph. I saw people ahead of me leaving with, personalization. It said, "Dear so-and-so, may the force be with you. Like, love, Hayden Christensen." And then they came out and said, Comic-Con ends at 5. It's now 4:30. we're trying to get everyone done. So if we can just cut down on the chit chat with him, and we're going to stop the personalizations, but he still can do an inscription and just put your name or whatever. And then finally at like 6 o'clock, they said even that had to stop. So no more personalizing it, no inscriptions, just literally signing his name and moving it on. And they were telling him to basically stop yakking with the with the guests, the paying guests. And so it was, you could tell, I think he really wanted to do more chit chat. He seemed very personable. So hopefully, Mr. Christensen, if you are listening out there, love to meet you again. Hopefully have more than 5 seconds to talk it up. But other than that, I think it was a decent con. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, man, it's always all the lines are always an adventure. I heard most of the vendors did like that there wasn't as many kind of celebrities and things like that because you got stuck online for 4.5 hours on a day you had a ticket. That's 4.5 hours that you weren't out on the floor doing other things, maybe spending money somewhere else or just hanging out doing other things. So it's a little frustrating. And every year, I'm lucky enough, I'm able to get a pro badge usually, and every year it's kind of just how is this going to go? Am I going to get in the building? Am I going to wait out in the cold, the rain, the whatever, maybe heat, depending on, what the weather's doing. And this year, like, they let us in. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't that crowded. There was a lot of empty space, a lot of, almost no publishers were there. There wasn't, we were missing a lot of the usual vendors. I'll put it that way. A lot of the usual displays, things like that. So, it's frustrating to hear that. I hope Hayden Christensen had at least a decent time, so he comes back. So I think that he had such a long line. He was the headliner because he doesn't really do this very often. So, if they ruin the experience, maybe he never comes back to New York at all. Maybe he never comes back to New York Comic Con. Maybe he didn't really like doing shows to begin with, and now it just solidified that, and it's just good luck. If you want to get one ever again, you have to do like a mail-in order. And you see some of the prices they're charging, especially, you paid a nice chunk of change to wait in line that long. And it just,
Right.
Unfortunately, at this point it is what it is, but it's, it's all part of the game, I guess. You're used to waiting in line one way or the other. It's just, unfortunately, Reed Pop still hasn't, they always underestimate how many people are going to show up for things.
Well, I also think they oversold. Like, I know by the time I bought a ticket for Sunday, Saturday had already sold out, but I think I was pretty early on buying for Sunday, and it just seemed like, there were not big gaps. It wasn't like just like he's signing from 11 to 12 and 4 to 5. Like, no, there was like a lot of time staggered throughout the whole day, and I think they just oversold it.
Yeah. Well, they cut ticket prices the week before or so to
Right.
try to sell the remaining tickets, and I guess they got the people in the door, but unfortunately for a few hundred people, it sounds like they got stuck on lines. But
Right.
we were still able to. You got your autograph. I hope the 150 people behind you are able to do the same. And I think we got some good books. We're there for mostly comics, a couple other things here or there. There's always a lot of stuff to see. So I would say we're the commerce of comics. Let's hit some books.
Yeah, just one more little comment on what you're saying.
The
I
airing
feel
of
like,
grievances.
no more grievances. That was really the only gripe. But it was like that Seinfeld episode where Kramer paints over the lines on the highway to make his luxuriously wide lanes. Like, that was kind of Comic-Con. So they had less vendors, like you said, but they spaced out the aisles like an extra 5 feet or whatever to compensate for that. And even though I feel like they did have a decent amount of people still there, Saturday and Sunday, I think, were sellout crowds, but it still felt less crowded because there were less vendors and there was more room to walk. Yeah. You weren't getting elbowed. You weren't getting backpacks like thrown into you. So that was actually a good experience. I wouldn't mind that in the future. But yeah, Funko wasn't there. Square Enix wasn't there. Sci-Fi Wire wasn't there doing their live recordings with like, celebrities and show casts. But the big names, Marvel, like you said, Image, DC, they weren't there, but they still managed to bring a decent amount of vendors, and still a lot of local comic shops from the whole area, from like as far out as, I don't know, Pennsylvania, Eastside. Shout out to Eastside Comics. I know they were there. But yeah, so without further ado, yeah, let's talk some comics. Shout out to local Comic Mint, of course. Love you guys. Comic Mint was one of the vendors at our own Silver City Con. Hopefully they'll come back for another show. We'd love to have them, and always giving you some great stuff. They had Shannon Mayer there and others doing exclusive signings for some of their commissioned covers that they've done for Comic Mint. And, they did the same thing at Terrificon that we've already talked about. So I will show off a few of these covers I got courtesy of Comic Mint. We've got the Harlequin, was it Eat, Love, Bang, Kill, whatever it is. It's the continuation of the HBO Max cartoon show that they canceled after 2 seasons. This is season 3 in comic book form with a virgin cover. You've got Poison Ivy and Harlequin there, Shannon Mayer cover. So I have the regular book, wanted to get this exclusive cover for the collection as well. Again, this is X-Men, this is Inferno. So Hickman hasn't been writing really. He's turned the reins over to the new X-Men volume to other people, but then he came back and he's doing this short story arc, Inferno. Read the first issue when it came out, had that regular cover, had to go get a Shannon Mayer exclusive cover. I also like it because Magic is cool there on the cover, but it also has the stamp there with the New York Comic Con logo at the bottom. And then my biggest acquisition was We Live #1, which I haven't read yet, but I hear it's very good. It's very popular. And, I wasn't planning on buying this. I just like exclusive stuff. I thought the cover was cool. It's actually a metallic cover. And while I was there, one of the people at Comic Mint said, we still have a few of these left. We only are selling 100 of these at the Comic Con. That's it. So it was 100 made, $100 a pop, and I think currently it's going around $450, $500, according to Key Collector and eBay prices. So it's I wasn't expecting it to blow up like that. I just thought it'd be cool to have an exclusive cover, and yeah, so happy to have that in the PC.
Yeah, man, I skip most of the exclusives. I don't know, I'm just not.
You're not as big in the variant covers as I am, and I mean it's an expensive habit. I definitely
missed the bus on a lot of stuff, but
yeah, I got to
try to go after the Cantos, and by the time I got there, they were all spine ticked up, dinged up. I know a set was going for like 150. I think it would have cost you, I want to say $50 for 3 books. But to be honest, like they were selling like no bags, no boards. They're already messed up, sitting on the table. Like people were just, I don't know, like blowing their nose at them, throwing back on the table. I don't want this anymore. I don't know. I just passed, and I missed out on eBay had a couple of exclusives, and just didn't go on Friday, so missed the Death of Doctor Strange book, and there was a Hulk book I didn't even realize until after the fact. So I'm not sure what they're pulling right now. I know Doctor Strange got it for like $50, considering it was a free comic book. It was a giveaway. So there were still exclusives, and Comic Mint crushed it, definitely. They had the biggest line by far at the show. Nice exclusives. They were probably, outside of Artist Alley, had the most guests. And yeah, they do what they do, and they do it well. So, but let me see. I'm going to go into some books at least, though. So one thing that's nice is all this Disney Plus, all the shows, everything that's coming out, is that people start bringing books that you don't normally see. So they're able to score some of these nice What If books. I got What If #23. Originally, I wanted this just for Spider-Man. So it's why am I blanking out?
Aunt May.
Aunt May gets spider powers, and she sews herself a crazy little outfit, and she's Spider-Man. But this book is also the first appearance, or excuse me, the origin of the Eternals, and that movie is getting really good
And the
reviews
Deviants.
already. Yeah, and the Deviants, true. And
so you talked me into getting one too. So
yeah, and
Mazel tov.
I feel like these, like when you go to a show like New York Comic Con, a lot of these books just aren't there otherwise. Like they're not even in the room to even look through. And I think you DC fans know what I'm talking about. If you look for some of those runs, even like fillers and stuff, it's all, it's a lot of Amazing Spider-Man, a lot of X-Men, not a lot of, kind of off-brand stuff. And so continue on, got What If number 7. This is Betty Brant as Spider-Girl, and Flash Thompson gets spider powers. To be honest, I forget what his name is in this issue. Just kind of grabbed my Spider-Verse because, the animated show is coming out. We're what, 2 months from Spider-Man No Way Home, so
Yeah,
I'm trying to get my Spider-Verse books.
Rumor is we could be getting a new Spider-Man trailer on the 25th. So
Yep.
Fingers crossed. We could be getting one within the next week. So that's exciting.
Yeah. And my last What If book, I forget if I did a shout out, Paul's Comics and Collectibles. They hooked us up with these. They had really nice books at really good prices. So What If number 19, and this is just caught a little heat because Spider-Man's wearing a spider cape in this, and he gets the cloak of levitation in the What If show in the Marvel Zombies episode, so to speak. So just grab that, not bad prices, and they're actually in good shape. So pretty happy to have those for the little Spidey collection. So
very nice, very nice. Yeah, and I know you and I also duplicated on a couple other books, but I got everything Kang. I'm trying to collect everything. I got the big book, of course, up there. I'm loving the short story arc, the short series now with Kang, issues 1 and 2. And so just trying to fill in the gaps. And this is the second appearance of the Council of Kangs. So really crispy copy, I think, for just a few bucks. Got it less than sticker price. Not a newsstand, but still pretty cool. And then I know, Chris, you got one of these, and you already had one of these, but this is the first cameo of Crossbones, and then we've got the first full and first cover of Crossbones. So again, I mean, Frank Grillo says he loves playing the character. If Marvel ever calls him again, he's definitely gonna come back. I know he voiced a character in the What If cartoon, but who knows? Maybe we'll see Crossbones again. It was really short-lived in the MCU, so yeah, just wanted to have those for the PC.
nice. Let me see. Let me see. Now, basically, I got slabs, so it's kind of going slab heavy. Did find some. I'd say first run through the show, I did think a lot of dealers were doing eBay plus prices, and even after you kind of try to negotiate for cash, this, that, or the other, the price was still a little high, So I felt like you had to dig deep and find books maybe you don't normally see and things like that. So one book I'm just really excited to have. So I do love Hellboy. And found this just sitting in a box, a bunch of other slabs. So San Diego Comic-Con Comics number 2, the first, I guess, kind of arguably. I know we had some, the dime press and things like that, but essentially it's considered the first appearance of Hellboy in a 9/4. This is a tough book to find, and Vin, you were with me at this point. I was kind of like, I'm done spending money, but I really hadn't seen one of these books in a long time, and I had a couple get away from me on eBay, and definitely beat eBay prices on it. So when this was from shout out to Victory Comics. I know some of the other channels on YouTube were going through their table too. I mean, some really good deals and really great people to deal with.
Yeah. How many books you got left? I'm just down to my last one.
I got 3.
All right. You want to do another one,
Yeah,
and
sure.
And then I'll go and you end it.
Sure, man. Keeping with Spidey, like I said, Spidey got a great deal from Comic Book Art and Collectibles. Check them out on Instagram. Spider-Man 194, first Black Cat, everyone knows. Just nice 8.5. Really good looking 8.5. Again, just beating out eBay for the prices. Kind of, it was definitely on my list. I was looking at some other high-end books, and some of them just weren't there, and some of them were just priced out of my range. But got a really great deal on this. Looking forward to that. Got their business card. Hopefully, we can get them at Silver City Con, and you all can see what I'm talking about. And let me see. We'll go kind of a weird one, but it's a tough book to find. I don't think there's really any CDC books on eBay, at least maybe at the time of this recording. Marvel Comics presents the second print, the 1 in 25 incentive variant. First appearance of Reign, which is alternate reality, Wolverine and Emma Frost's daughter. So when it's her first cover appearance, I don't know, I just saw it. Good price. This was from Sanctum Sanctorum. They had some nice slabs tucked away in the back. They had some really nice variant covers. Check them out. And just happy to have it add to the kind of Wolverine run. So trying to focus in the collection a little bit because kind of running out of room, guys. All right.
Well, before we bring it on home with our two last books, I also just want to jump in and show. I know I did this during the live episode, but eBay was a vendor that really wasn't there in previous years, and I feel like they had a gigantic booth at this show. And again, waiting online for a while, I don't know. Maybe some of you guys out there can tell me if this is really worth the hour wait online. It is limited edition. It's 1 of 5,000, but I don't know. It's card. It's in heavy plastic. I don't know. But what was really cool was that they also threw in a random gift card. I know that some people were getting as little as $10, but I think one lucky person was going to find like a $10,000 gift card. So that was kind of cool. And they also got a random pop. And some of them were just regular standard $10, $15 price. This one I think is going for a little bit higher than that because it is a special like limited edition like Pride Funko Pop. So I got myself a little BB-8, and actually now that we have a chance to re-record this after I got back from vacation, built my own BB-8 down at Galaxy's Edge. So now I've got the BB-8 droid to go with the BB-8 pop. And then this wasn't an exclusive one, but I had to get it. This was at FYE, so you can all run to FYE or buy it online. But this was just really cool. Loved this episode of the What If show. So you got Star-Lord T'Challa. So really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Now, last but not least, this is another book that I'd consider in my top 5 that I wanted to grab. Of course, already had the Phoenix that's just off camera here that I got at Terrificon. This one, courtesy of Very Gary Comics, is Nick's number 3 in there we go. And yeah, I mean, it's CBCS, not CGC, but still the price was right. Gave me a good deal on it. Actually, funny little story is that, like you said, I probably would have spent a lot more money if I had not been online for Hayden Christensen for 4.5 hours. But luckily enough, my fiance now went and was able to run upstairs and get that book for me because I was on that line for so damn long. So she was able to run up and grab that from Gary. And Gary actually sold me the all-new X-Men or all-new Wolverine with her first cover appearance in the Wolverine costume. I bought that off him at Terrificon. So rounding out my X-23 collection.
Nice. All under fair market value while being taken off the market, this guy. Look at him go. I got one more book left. This is actually my first purchase, and I think the best deal I found at the show. Shout out to Comic Collision for this Action Comics 340 first Parasite. I don't know, just feel like it's a tough book to find. I got some nice Superman original art, and it's gonna go on the wall with that kind of stuff because most of the Superman comics you just really can't, get at this point. So we'll see. I mean, DC hopefully has turned out. Just had DC Fandom. A lot of the trailers look good. Hopefully they're getting their act together. Marvel pushed back some movies. I had read some kind of crazy spec that maybe Marvel was pushing back some movies to give DC some breathing room because it's possibly better for the industry as a whole, for especially comics themselves, not necessarily the movies. But I mean, I think that's a little crazy. I don't know if the House of Mouse really cares, but hopefully they really pick up the game. Rock looks great. New Shazam, they had a little feature at the Flash. I don't know. I kind of like the Batman. Maybe I'm gonna get killed. Maybe I'll get killed in the comments. Maybe we'll get some comments. But I don't know. I think Robert Pattinson seems like he's gonna be pretty good. I'm not so sure about the villains, but I mean, he's not sparkling, so I think we got a shot. So, and yeah, I mean, I think don't sleep on these DC keys. Like there are, for every Action Comics 1, Detective 27, it's just there's a lot of books. There's a lot of you have that A tier of 3 characters, and then there's a lot underneath. I think that's a good value. So I was happy to grab this and check out. Comic Collision is putting on the Super Jersey Comic Expo down in New Jersey in Homedale on November 6th. So just give them a shout out. Really great guys to deal with. Had great prices as well. So go check them out.
Yeah, and I'm forgetting the date off the top of my head. I believe it is the second weekend in November, the 13th and 14th, but there'll be the New Haven Comic Spectacular down in New Haven, Connecticut. So Google that, look that up, check that out, because I think that's going to be good for the locals up my way. There won't really be another big show, I don't think, until our show. So yeah, more to come on that. And I don't know, Chris, any other final thoughts or comments?
No, man, just New York Comic, it's a fun time. Just you watch the lines, and I think to your point, and just go check out the little shows. They're always a good time, and they have a couple nice guests and things like that. So it's just get out there, just read comics, support your local shops, and just keep it going. I don't know, it's a fun hobby, and that's what it should be.
Yep. I mean, Comics and Coffee, they were a vendor. They do their thing every other Saturday in Meriden. Actually, they just did one today, but they're still doing it every other week, every other Saturday. Really, it's indoors, so they might just keep going throughout the winter. They usually were doing it like April through November, but they might keep going now. So if you're, again, Central Connecticut, check them out in Meriden. Good guys to deal with. So that's probably going to wrap it up for now. I know last year I had fun, posted something around Halloween, threw up myself in a Fat Thor costume for all you guys. Might do another little thing, have a little thing up my sleeve as far as Halloween comic nerdy related stuff. So probably throw a little video, maybe not YouTube though, might just do that on Instagram and Facebook. But we'll be back again before too long with another episode. But until next time, happy Halloween, stay safe, stay nerdy.